Now with the child with the cough, we're going to show you a couple of different techniques. One is stroking along the spine, and that stimulates some traditional Chinese medicine or some acupuncture points, which helps calm down the cough. And the other is a cupping or pounding, or what I prefer to call playing the drums. And that's a technique for getting the mucus, yep, just like that, getting the mucus to break free of the lungs. Because if you picture the lungs full of mucus and the mucus clinging to the lung, it's difficult for the child or the adult to cough that up. And as soon as you start coughing that mucus up, it's easier for the body to heal. So this technique has been used for years on cystic fibrosis patients to basically get the mucus off of the lungs in order for them to cough it up. So we're going to do the same thing with our kids. So I'm going to have you turn along the side here. Now, depending upon how your child is acting, you can do this seated or you can do it laying down. I prefer laying down, but depending upon the needs of your child, you might want to do it seated. So, Joan, I'm going to have you look straight ahead here for me. So what you can do first is use some of the essential oils or the lotion, whatever you have. And again, stroke down the spine. I'm going to turn you a little bit more here, buddy. Just stroke down the spine 10 times from the neck all the way down. And then the other thing is then you're going to play the drums over the lung area. And the lung area, for anyone, is what you do is you palpate. I'm going to have you hang on for just a second, buddy. Palpate the lower ribs here. That's where the bottom of the lung is. And the top of the lung is right here in the shoulder. So all you're going to do on each side for about 30 seconds, you can do this rather vigorously, you're just going to play the drums. You ready? Okay, here we go. So all you do is you're cupping your hands, and I'll show you what this is in a minute. And then you're just playing over the top. Yeah. And again, you can make this fun. You play any drum beats that you want. And the child can make little noises to sound like a helicopter. Can you go louder? There we go. Okay, thank you. And what you can do is 30 seconds of that pounding over each side. The ideal placement of your hands, though, is this cupping C motion. Now, you don't want to have your hands in this cupping C motion and keep them rigid and stiff, because when you do that, it's very hard on the child. So what you need to do is you need to have what's called a soft C. Have your hand in that C position and then hold it gentle. So when you're cupping over the child's spine and over its lungs, your hand will actually give a little bit. So again, if your child is really clingy, not feeling well, we're going to play the drums again, buddy. Here we go. You can have them hold right onto you. You're sitting, in a rocking chair or in your chair at home. Child with you like this, and you can just cup right over the top of their spine, just like that. So any position that you can get in to expose the back and to do the cupping techniques will work. Now, the close-up demonstration of trying to stimulate some of the points along the spine as well in the shoulder blades. Again, these are traditional acupuncture points that are used to calm coughs down, as well as a cupping technique in which we showed before. What the cupping is going to do is we're going to be actually playing, I call it playing the drums or pounding over the lung area, which essentially is from the bottom of the rib cage all the way to the top of the shoulder on both sides. Now again, I always try to make a game of it, play some tunes like Wipeout or something like that. But the cupping itself is going to help break up the mucus that is clinging to the lungs. If the mucus is then therefore not clinging to the inside portion of the lungs, it will then be easily coughed up by the child, and that will help stimulate healing too, getting rid of the bacteria or viruses that are inside of the lungs. So again, taking some of the lotion or the oil, you can just start rubbing it along the middle of the spine and over the lung area. And again, that's just going to help stimulate the healing process, because the oils that are in the lung and sinus formula are antibacterial and antivirals as well as antifungals, so it will help get rid of the infection faster. After that is rubbed in there, we get to play the drums. So if you want to put your arms straight down there for me one more time, little man, thank you. All I'm going to do is just cup my hands and just start playing the drums. And you can start at the very bottom of the lung all the way up over the shoulder blade, right over the top of that shoulder. And then get over to the other side here, do the same thing. Can you make any noises for me? Louder! Kind of sound like a helicopter. But again, Good. Now you want to do that for about 30 seconds over each side if you can. And importantly, again, the hand position is keeping the hand a little bit bent. Don't keep a stiff, rigid hand. That won't feel so good on the child's back. But make it a soft C, a soft cup. So when you hit, your hand will actually give a little bit. Yep, so you're just pounding like that. And again, 30 seconds on each side, and that will help get rid of some of the cough.